right, here we go. So I guess Lauren was kind of asking about like, what would the adjustments be? You don't have to get that deep into it.
Sorry, yeah, I got connectivity issues, but yeah, they the cheat sheet of adjustments at different price points.
This is going to be pretty accurate because think about it. There's no really, the only adjustments you're really going to do to the home are really maybe if you have a newer home, and a newer means maybe 10 years, right? 10 years is considered a little bit newer. Other than that, upgrades don't matter because upgrades and all that depend on the person that's buying. Right. Beauty's in the eye of the beholder. You could put $1 million kitchen in your house and your house won't be worth $1 million because people expect you to have countertop, faucets, blah, blah, blah. That's personal choice. Pool in your backyard, personal choice. I know people who love a pool in their backyard. I know people who have bought a house and filled it in with dirt before they moved in.
And it also depends on the area too, right? So if you made your house $1 million house in a C neighborhood, it's not going to be $1 million.
Basketball player Derek Coleman, who's a good friend of mine, we used to run a business together. He's a big time basketball NBA guy. He did that. His mom lived in Detroit in the hood. He bought 3 houses because she never wanted to move out the hood. I don't know why. And he knocked them all down and built her a big house. I'm talking about in the hood. And I'm like, DC, why what we doing? Like, we buying real estate all over. He's like, my mama did not want to move. I was like, okay. So he tore down these jacked up houses in Detroit. She wanted to stay on the same street. And when he ended up not doing as well financially as he wanted to go back and sell them. It was a wrap. Wasn't worth nothing. Still worth the same old 100,000, even though he put $1 million in. Yeah. So, all right, cool. All right, no questions after this, right? So everybody has this. Okay, you know how to get to this point. All right, so now let's get to a little bit what you guys are kind of hinting to. So, we have a pricing sheet, and everybody has access to this. If you're on my team, it's in Loop. Every single time before you write an offer, my suggestion is you should do a pricing sheet. It takes you less than 3 minutes to do. Maybe your first time you do it, it might take you an hour and a half to do, right? But by the time you do a couple of these, it'll take you like 2 or 3 minutes to knock these out. I do them on every single buyer transaction, every single listing transaction, because I'm trying to figure out on a buyer transaction if I can offer more money and get closing costs from my buyer, because I know most times the seller doesn't want to pay it, right? I'm raised in the business mindset. Don't ever count another person's money. So if I cannot ask a seller if they list a house for $300,000 for closing costs, I don't want to do it. I only do it if I have to, because if I know how to price a home and they're listing for $300 and it's worth $310, I know I got $10,000. I can offer them $310 and $10,000 in closing costs and say, hey, Miss McGillicuddy, it doesn't affect your bottom line. And she goes, oh, you're right, Anthony. Hey, you do whatever you want. Right? And then on a listing agreement, if the seller says, I definitely want 400, like Simone said, and it's worth 415, and even Simone's a tough client of mine, and I say, all right, Simone, even though we listen for $399.99, I guarantee if anything above 415 will split 50-50. You're like, I don't care, Anthony, do whatever you want, as long as I get my 415. Right? I'm like, okay, no problem, right? I don't know how many listing appointments you guys have done, but I've had listing appointments with sellers say, Anthony, I don't care what you list my house for, but my bottom line is I got to walk away cash with this. I'm like, cha-ching. I'm like, oh, okay, that's great. I write on list agreement, especially I guarantee, what is it? Listing broker guarantee, seller broker will next. Whatever that number is. And they go. So that means, let's say the house in Simone's scenario was worth, she wants 400,000. That means I could list the home for 200,000 if I wanted to get buyers, and then talk them up to 400. I'm just giving you an example. I've done that, not that low, but let's say Simone said 400, I'll list it for 374, 999. She goes, Anthony, I don't care. I get 400, buddy. But I know my marketing is going to drive me more buyers, and I can drive the price up. Because I know, because I'm in the loan business too, with $25,000 and based on interest rate, it ain't much more money.
Mhm.
So, just so you know.
Oh,
I
that
don't-
makes sense.
Right, yeah. I try to do stuff that makes sense, y'all. I try.
We did it with the one house that we listed at 375 and ended up getting 315. I'm with
Mhm.
310,
275.
275, sorry. Yes.
And we got 310. Yeah, absolutely. And they were happy as a mug, wasn't they, Jim?
Yep. They called me because they were happy with 300. And then I called them back and said, okay, we got an offer for 310. And they were like, what? How did you get an extra 10,000?
I work my butt off. Anthony's marketing. All right. And you put 35 racks in your pocket.
Anthony, this is,
Yeah.
I know it's
I
not
thought y'all
today.
said y'all was good. I'm trying to move on.